What is going on, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wrestling Rush Hour. This is the NXT review. Now, NXT today was, again, a good show. I kind of get sick and tired of kind of saying that it's a good show because I feel like some people feel like I'm just trying to only say it's a good show just cause, but it actually really is. The show didn't see the reason why I like NXT, and I know a lot of people, some people may not like it, some people do, but NXT doesn't do the same thing every single week. I remember a couple weeks ago it started with showing, like for NXT, sometimes they'll show the wrestlers, walking into the NXT building or whatnot. But like maybe a couple weeks ago, it was Jasper Troy beating the hell out of Obafemi and slamming him into a windshield. And then they ended up having a main event, championship match was a really great NXT championship match. And then the next week they'll do a different segment, or one week they'll start it off with just wrestling. So this week we didn't get any backstage segments or anything. It just went straight to the, they show people coming in, obviously, just to start the show. But the show started with Ricky Saints versus the Vanity Project. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know much about the Vanity Project. I know that they're kind of like Ethan Page is kind of like little lackeys and whatnot. But and I know that they're on Evolve, but I don't watch Evolve. But I will say, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, and Jackson Drake. These guys, I don't know how young they are, but they are actually really good in the ring. And going up against Ricky Starks, even though I think it was maybe like a good, I don't know what, maybe like 10-minute, maybe 13-minute match or so. It was a gauntlet match where Ricky Saints went up against all three of them. But I liked the way they did the match because it didn't look like they didn't make it seem like Ricky was burying them as talent. Obviously, they're young and they're rookies, but it's like they showed off. You can tell by just watching it, like, okay, these guys can go, and it was really entertaining. In my opinion, thought it was a good match. Thought it was something different than what WWE does on the main show. We never see 1 versus 3 matches or anything like that. So I thought it was a nice switch up. So shout out to Shawn Michaels or whoever came up with that creative decision to start off the show like that. Ricky Saints ended up getting the win. If he ended up winning this 1 versus 3 gauntlet match, he got an opportunity to choose the stipulation. He chose a false count anywhere match. So we'll see what happens this upcoming Saturday. Now, another thing, we ended up seeing Tavion Heights versus Charlie Dempsey. Now, if you guys remember a couple weeks back, one of the other members of No Quarter Catch crew, they ended up defeating Charlie Dempsey and ended up leaving the group. And Tavion Heights wanted to do the same thing. This was a really, really good match between Tavion and Charlie. Now, I think her name is Warren. Yeah, Warren. She threw in the towel. I thought that was good just because for storyline wise, so they're gonna keep kind of building up that storyline and whatnot. But overall, those guys put on a show that is really good. Hendry Santana versus High Rise. Santana ended up picking up the win, but Trick Williams and High Rise, they ended up standing tall after the match with Trick Williams holding that championship up. And I thought it was all right. I thought it was a decent tag team match. Not anything to just go back and rewatch, but it was a decent. Laney Reed versus Kelani Jordan. This was it was a good match. I'll say that. It was a good match. I think that Kelani Jordan, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, even Jordan Grace. There's just so many different women that are in NXT that I think can easily come to the main roster and spark the women's division, because the women's division, I don't want to say the women's division is trash, but I'll say it's not as compelling, in my opinion, than NXT. But overall, Kelani Jordan ended up picking up the win with a really pretty cool finisher in the air. Then we ended up seeing Hank and Tank versus the Culling. I kind of thought that Hank and Tank were going to lose, but they ended up not losing. Overall, the tag team match was good. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. And then moving on to the final segment, and just the final segment was good. I like how they had all the different people from NXT, SmackDown, Raw. Stephanie Vacure showed up, which was a surprise to everyone. And they're just all talking about the this battle royal that's going to happen at Evolution 2, and who's going to end up winning it. My personal pick is Jada Parker. I would like to see Jada Parker win. That's just my own personal opinion. And the reason why is this. Or really, honestly, just anyone from NXT. It could be Kelani Jordan. It could be anyone from NXT. I don't think anyone from SmackDown or Raw needs to win. And here's the reason why. I know a lot of people say Stephanie Vacure needs to win, but the reason why I don't think that Stephanie Vacure should win this is because Stephanie Vacure is going to, whenever she officially gets a championship match, she's going to win that championship and hold it at least for 9 months to a year. That's just the reality. So if WWE is going to do that, I just think that they should use this as a moment to kind of like, I don't want to explain it, build up another star. Stephanie Vacura is a big enough star to where if she loses a battle royal, it's not going to hurt her. But building up a Kelani Jordan or a Jada Parker, that way they can, kind of smoothly just transition them into the main roster. I just think it's better because let's be real. When you look at Monday Night Raw, I'm gonna just try to list some women that are on Monday Night Raw. We obviously have Bayley, Becky, Lyra. On Monday Night Raw, Bayley, Becky, Lyra, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan's hurt, Raquel Rodriguez is there, and then and I think Natalia, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I don't know the other girl's name. I keep forgetting it. But yeah, those, you can't tell me that list of women on Monday Night Raw is so spectacular, and it's just must see women's wrestling. And then when you look at SmackDown's got some pretty good ones. You got Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton. Even though she doesn't really get cheers or boos, you have what's the short girl that just lost Zelina Vega. You have Julia, you have Nia Jax, and you got Jade Cargill. So you kind of got more of a stacked SmackDown roster in regards to the women versus that. And you still got Piper Niven on SmackDown. You have Chelsea Green, and you have Alba Fire on SmackDown. So you just get way more women that are actually entertaining in regards to the characters and whatnot on SmackDown versus Raw. So I just think bringing up some of those other women from NXT could help the show. Oh yeah, and obviously Monday Night Raw has Stephanie Vacura, but that's just my own opinion though. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And yeah, overall though, man, it was a pretty good show. Peace.